Now, everyone wants to make money in the NFT space, and the number one thing that people think of with making money in the NFT space is whitelist and making flips. But there are a whole bunch of different ways you can actually do it. Now, my boy Cade, he's on right here. Say hi, Cade.
What's up? What's up?
So Cade actually does make money in the NFT space, but not just by doing flips. He's got a whole bunch of other ways that he kind of makes some money. I want to bring him on just so I can kind of give you an idea about some other revenue generating aspects that you can have within the NFT space. So then when we do go full bull again, you can make money hand over fist. So Cade, can you break down some of your revenue streams within the NFT space at the moment?
Yeah. So a lot of mine revolve around content creation, which is why I'm so big, especially on TikTok, and I'm posting so much content there. I just think it's so easy to become a content creator. I think people think that there's a big barrier to entry, and there's actually not. There's actually no barrier to entry, especially with TikTok. People think they see YouTube and they see all the editing and the work that goes into the thumbnails, the search engine optimization, whatever you call it, and all that shit. And that's a lot of stuff. With TikTok, you can literally just pull up a video, start talking to a camera. If you've been in the NFT space for a little bit of time, you've seen some things, you picked up on trends, you can actually teach people, and people are willing to pay for that. And so there's different ways that I've made money through alpha and Discord. That's probably the most common thing I'm seeing, that you don't even have to make a content. You don't even have to be a content creator to be able to do that. But being an alpha and Discord, I did that when that was my first paid thing, actually. When I was 1,000 subscribers, I made this video for the Ugaverse project, and I basically asked them all these hard questions. They're like, hey, we actually like those questions. We actually see you made a bunch of videos. Do you want to be like one of our alphas in Discord? You'll just post all these videos. You'll give us content for free and all this stuff. And I said, okay. And so they paid me. At that point, I'm just willing to disclose, it was $2,400 a month, which is fucking absurd. I couldn't believe they were paying me that much money when it felt like I had no credentials. But I painted it in a way where I did, because I did know some stuff, and I was just making a lot of content. And the biggest thing for me is audience curation. I talk about this on my main channel. And you can curate your audience in a very, very specific way by noting in your head who you want to make videos for, and making videos and making content exactly geared toward that. Like for me, for example, I picked project founders, I picked CEOs, people with money, and people who are willing to learn and want to learn and will pay money to be able to do that. And so that was my way of audience curation. So they would pay me. So I had review videos that people would pay me for. They would do commission. Those are all commission style, which I don't like, which I'm trying to get away from. And right now I'm at a point now where I'm at a pivotal point where I'm starting to get away from the commission style and start to have more conversations with businesses about sponsorships, partnerships, stuff like that. So I'm really excited about that. But the console stuff is a little bit, I don't do too much of the consulting stuff. And then selling and flipping NFTs is a decent bit, not like a crazy part of my money, but it definitely it gives me a little bit more wiggle room, I guess.
So when you're talking about reviews, I think people get really kind of confused with this, and they think this means like you're just like a paid shiller. But what did this kind of entail, and how did it kind of break down, and how did you essentially keep your morals and ethics in place when you were kind of doing these things?
So the best part when I first started this, and I'm so happy I recorded this, is a video out there where I said on camera, I want to do these reviews so that one day projects will approach me asking for a review rather than a promo, and I just have to stick to the game and make as many reviews as possible. I'm at over 100 reviews now, so I basically painted myself as the review guy. So it's been all word of mouth. I've never reached out to a project in my life for a review. They've all come to me for the reviews, which has been something that's great. It would have felt weird for me to reach out and say, hey, do like a paid thing if it's not even a promo. And so I've been able to paint the picture in a way where they're like, oh, so you're empowering your audience, you're educating your audience. And so when people do come into Discord, they're going to know all the details about your project, and they would have come in because of all the information I gave rather than just a paid promotion. I always thought that was better. And so when I explain it in that way, the project founders who are going to be here and to actually want to work on their projects are actually really excited to get into it. It's something that a lot of people aren't offering. So that's what I did. I basically came into the industry in a different angle and said, I can make this work, because it's different. It's the only way I can actually get into this industry, because there's already so many people doing the same thing. So that was my angle there. And so yeah, they would come in and they say, hey, let's do a full review. It's basically an audit. So I basically became the auditor. I said, if you go through my process, it's kind of like a dub for you, because you're like, hey, we went through this review process. Cade, will hash out and completely roast a project for something if he feels like it's necessary. And so I kind of built the brand on that authenticity and transparency, because I knew one day it would pay off in the long run.
So Cade, looking at how the space is now, how you've kind of had some revenue streams, where do you think is a space right now that people are going to jump into and moving into in the next 2, 6, 12 months time?
Man, everybody is moving into the media game right now. It's all media, it's all news, which isn't a surprise. This is another video. I don't want to sound like I was a know-it-all, but I also made a video back around that same time where I said eventually everyone will start to make the kind of content I'm making, because it's inevitable. When the market cools down, there's no more alpha calls. There's no more top 5 projects anymore. It's going to be NFT market updates, podcasts, strategies, and that's literally where everyone has moved into. We've seen the birth of WGMI Media, the company with like Andres and Brett and all them. They band together to do a media company. We have the Drop over here. We've got Blockworks, so all these different companies doing media. They're all fighting for the #1 position. The difference is there's some people who are creators that people latch onto, and they say, I don't want a conglomerate. I want a creator that I trust. And so for me, that's where I thought, for the past 10 months, me building that brand would help me, and it's paying off now, because now I'm in a position where there are companies that are asking me to make content for them because they trust my image and they want my image as part of their brand. And so that's one way I've been able to leverage my brand to get more money in some of these deals that I'm working on right now, actually, as we're speaking. And so for a lot of people who are trying to get into the space, the media angle is a bit saturated because there's so many conglomerates, but you can work in the individual personality angle. And so if you're able to make content, that's something Andres did really well, and that's why he got picked up by WHMI Media, because he has that personality and he has that, I don't know, that vibe that he's like, I know what I'm doing. I did my research, and you can trust me because of these reasons. And he's on point with a lot of his alpha. So I do think that the media side is a good one. It's a bit saturated, but also everywhere is always saturated. So fuck it, just do whatever you want.
What would your kind of final takeaway for someone that wants to make some money in the space that doesn't necessarily want to go down that just straight sort of whitelist flipping route? What would you kind of say to them?
I think if you want to make money in NFTs right now, you're right. The whitelist, the flipping is pretty much it's not a thing unless you're next level or you have insider trading or something. It's just really not a thing. And so I would say getting on board with a Web3 company. NFT projects, it's a little bit harder because a lot of them are lacking funding right now. They don't have a lot of secondary sales providing them extra money. They have absolutely no business structure for the 99% of them. They have nothing generating them income. So it's a lot harder for NFT projects to hire out, in my opinion. So I think going after Web3 and NFT companies is more of a better idea. I think there's a ton of them out there. You can actually just literally Google Web3 projects or Web3 companies out there on Google and see if you can line up any of your skills that are there. And if you have no skills, then the only answer that I can give you is to go get a skill. Go get a skill. It's going to take probably 3 months, but you'd be surprised at how much you could actually learn in 1 month by just diving all the way in and figuring out something. It doesn't have to be coding, doesn't have to be content creation. There's a whole variety of them. There's community managing, there's moderating that you can get into NFT projects, but also in the company world, a lot of it's just connections and networking. So you can just not waste time, but get into Twitter spaces, get into Discords, really network your way in the industry. But right now, I think if you go in with the mentality that I need to make money in Web3, it's probably not going to happen. You're probably going to have to go get a bartending job or something and work like that. I mean, that was even a possibility for me at one point in this bear run before I considered the idea of partnering with other companies or doing content creation with another company. I was like, maybe I will get a second job or third job just because. And I think for a lot more people, if they haven't started 6 months ago, then it's going to be harder to just generate money right now in a market that's essentially kind of dead beat right now.
So yeah, thanks, Cade, for coming on and kind of breaking down how someone can kind of make some money that isn't just the straight whitelist flips.
Yeah, man. Hell yeah. Well, I appreciate coming to the channel. Always love coming to NFT Nate's channel. It's done so much for me. He came onto my show at like 7 a.m. one time, or 5 a.m. one time, I think it was. So we made it happen, man. Made it happen.
So everyone, I've got Cade's channel down there, all his socials down there. So go follow the man, and good luck on your NFT journey.
Hell yeah. Peace.